So, good morning, all students. And today we will be continuing with the discussion of the chapter Our Environment. In this chapter, till now, we have discussed what is environment, what are the effects of adding waste to the environment. We have also discussed the ecosystem and its component. We have also discussed food chain, food wave, and the trophic levels. And yesterday in our class, we also discussed about energy flow in the trophic level or energy flow in an ecosystem. Then we discussed about the Lindeman's 10% law of flow of energy in an ecosystem. Now today, our topic of discussion will be the ecological pyramid. Today, our topic of discussion is ecological pyramid. Now, first of all, what is an ecological pyramid? Now, ecological pyramid is the pyramid that shows relationship between the trophic levels in the ecosystem. Even we can say in terms of the amount of energy or in terms of the number or even the biomass. First, we have to take a concern over here. Suppose let us consider this pyramid. Let us consider the first one. Here, you see at the bottom, the producers are there, then followed by the primary consumer, then secondary consumer is there, and followed by the tertiary consumer. So if you will look to the pyramid, you will see that it is a graphical representation of the different trophic levels of the food chain, either in terms of their number or energy or even the biomass. Okay, so if suppose we are talking about pyramid of number, suppose this one, the pyramid of number, then at the bottom level, whose population will be maximum? At the bottom level, whose population will be maximum? Tell me through the chat box, you give me the reply. At the bottom level, whose population will be maximum? Okay, very good. The producers, very good. Yes, the producers population will be the maximum, or if we are saying in terms of the energy, here the amount of the energy present in the producer is more. And then as we move from the base towards the apex of the pyramid, or we can say the number is decreasing. So what is an ecological pyramid? It is a graphical representation of the various trophic level of the food chain, either in terms of energy or in terms of number or even in terms of biomass. Okay, is it clear to all of you? The ecological pyramid is clear to all of you? Okay. Okay, Khushi, I repeat once again, no problem. Okay, some of the students who joined later. Okay, so see, what is this? Ecological pyramid. If suppose we are talking about, let us take one example of the grassland ecosystem. Grassland ecosystem at the bottom or at the producer level is the grass. Then suppose the primary consumer is a grasshopper, secondary consumer is a frog, tertiary consumer is a snake. Now tell me, whose population is maximum? Whose population is maximum? If suppose I'm giving you the example of this very grassland trophic level, whose population is maximum? Very good. Yes. Correct? The producer or the grass. Yes, very good. And then as we are moving from the producer towards the tertiary consumer, the population goes on decreasing. Did you got it? So this is called the ecological pyramid, and this is the pyramid of number. Am I clear to all? Is it clear to all the students? Okay, fine. Okay. Now we will come to the next very important topic, that is biological magnification or biomagnification. Now students, you must be knowing about DDT. Have you heard about DDT? Have you heard about DDT? Have you heard about DDT? No. Okay. During our classroom discussion also we have discussed DDT. DDT is an insecticide, okay, which was used to protect the crop from the insects. The full form of DDT is diphenyl trichloroethane. Now, what was the problem of using this insecticide? See, in the food chain, harmful chemicals like insecticides and pesticides, which are used to protect crop from insects and pests, are absorbed by plants and enter the food chain. Since these chemicals are non-biodegradable, they get accumulated at every trophic level and their concentration increases. Since human beings occupy the highest trophic level, the concentration of these harmful chemicals is maximum in our body. So it is a phenomenon of increase in the concentration of the harmful chemical in the body of the organism at higher trophic level. So suppose we are spraying the DDT. Suppose this example, let me take. We are spraying the DDT over the plants, okay, at this level. Now, when these producers are eaten up by the primary consumer, the concentration of the chemical in that organism is increasing, because in the previous trophic level, that chemical was not broken down, or we can say not absorbed in the body. Okay, now when this primary consumer is eaten up by the secondary consumer, the concentration of the chemical is going to increase more. Again, the same reason, because in the previous trophic level, the chemical was not able, or we can say the chemical was not broken and absorbed in the body. And finally, when it goes to the higher level, the concentration becomes maximum. So why? Because again, in the previous trophic level, that very insecticide or the DDT was not broken down, so it accumulates more in the body. So gradually what we are seeing, that the concentration of this harmful chemical goes on increasing along the successive trophic level of the food chain. And this very phenomena of the increase in the concentration of the harmful chemical in the body of the organism at the higher trophic level, or we can say along the successive trophic level, is called biomagnification. Is it clear to all the students? Is it clear to all the students? Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, okay. Now, let me show you here. Yes. In this food chain also you can see the mercury which get accumulated along the food chain, or we can say an aquatic food chain. So along the successive trophic level, the mercury, like the phytoplankton or the bacteria which are the producer, then the primary consumer is the insect and the zooplankton. They are consumed by a small fish, and then the large fishes, and even at the top level the mammals are also there. So along the successive trophic level, it goes on decreasing. Okay, so this is another example of the biomagnification, that how the mercury level in the food chain is increasing. Now one more example you can see over here, which is about DDT. Let me show you that. Yes, the third column or the third example, you see the DDT. ppm means, student, this is a unit parts per million. Okay, if we are talking about the producers, the amount of the ppm in them is less. When they are consumed by the small fishes, it goes on increasing. When it is consumed by the larger fishes, still going on increasing, and ultimately at the top level it is maximum. So here we have seen three examples of the biomagnification, or we can say the increase in the concentration of the harmful chemical along the successive trophic level of the food chain. Here, students, I am asking you one question. Can you tell me that why the vultures, or we can say completely the vultures are not extinct, they are on the verge of extinction. Why the vultures, or why the population of the vultures has decreased so much? Can you tell me why the population of the vulture has decreased so much? Yes, for this, I would like to unmute some of the students. Wait, let me. Okay. Okay. Who wants to answer this question? Raise your hand. Who wants to answer this question? Raise your hand. Why the vultures are on the verge of extinction? Okay, since no hands is raised, so Kunal, unmute yourself. I have given you the option.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Kunal, why the vultures are on the verge of extinction?
So excessive use of pesticides and insecticides in the crops.
Very good. So we can say that due to biomagnification, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we the humans are also at the top level. Okay, Kunal, you can mute yourself. We the humans are also at the top level of the food chain, and we are also very we can say on the bad effect of the biological magnification, or we can say the very effect of the biological magnification on our body, as because the concentration of the harmful chemical is going on increasing. Okay, remember, biological magnification, or we can say biomagnification, is very important in terms of the questions which come in the board examination every year. It is asked. Okay, so learn it very carefully. Now we are coming to the topic ozone and harmful human activities which affect the environment. First of all, before going into the discussion of what is the impact of the human activity on the environment, who will tell me what is ozone? Let me see your previous knowledge. What is ozone? Okay, Aryan, you have raised your hand. Okay, Aryan, just a moment. Okay, first Aryan raised his hand. Okay. Okay, let me. Okay. Okay, Aryan, you can unmute yourself, Aryan. I've given you the option.
Yes, sir.
You can unmute yourself, Aryan. Yes, Aryan, what is
Yes, sir.
ozone? As you raised your hand, what is ozone?
Ozone is a gas in that atmosphere that protects everything on the Earth from harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. Without the layer of ozone in the atmosphere, it would be very difficult for anything to survive in the surface.
Okay, you have given a complete explanation. Definitely correct. Okay, let me see a few more students also. Okay, Anjali. Anjali, you also raised your hand. Anjali, you can also unmute yourself, Anjali. Anjali, you can also unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Anjali, what do you want to share regarding ozone? What is ozone?
Ozone is a gas in the atmosphere that protects everything on the earth from the harmful ultraviolet rays. Without this gas, human beings, without this gas, human beings can be affected by skin cancer.
Okay. Yes, very correct, student. At higher level in the atmosphere, actually what happens, the ultraviolet radiation from the sun breaks the oxygen. Oxygen molecule is a biatomic, okay, and it breaks into the free oxygen atoms. And then what happens, the free oxygen atom combines with the biatomic oxygen to form the triatomic O3, which is the ozone. So at the first level, O2 is broken down into free oxygen atom, and then this free oxygen atom combined with O2 to form O3, which is the ozone. So it is a molecule which contains three oxygen atom, and it is highly poisonous. Now this layer present in the higher layer of the atmosphere protect the earth from the harmful UV radiation from the sun. And if suppose this layer, or we can say this layer is not present, or this layer is depleting day by day, then what are the problems associated? We will be, or we can say, skin cancer, eye cataract, even skin diseases occur. Then comes that why is this ozone layer getting depleted? Yes, for this I want to interact with you all again. Why this ozone layer is getting depleted? Who want to answer this? Raise your hand quickly. Why do the ozone layer is getting depleted? Okay, very good, Khushbu. Okay, Khushbu, you can. Yes, Khushbu, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Khushbu, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Khushbu, why does the ozone layer is getting depleted?
Sir, ozone layer is depleted day by day due to the chlorofluoro gas.
Okay, you want to say, or you are saying the chief, or we can say the synthetic compound responsible for the ozone layer depletion is a chlorofluorocarbon. Okay, good, Khushbu. Now, again, my one more question to you all. Khushbu, you can mute yourself. That where from we are getting the CFC, from where we are getting this CFC? From where we are getting, okay, again, Khushbu raised her hand, okay. Okay, Khushbu, you can unmute yourself.
Sir,
Yes.
chlorofluorocarbon generally produced from refrigerator or ACs, etc.
Okay, acting as an, yes, aerosols. Okay, it is used in refrigerators and fire extinguishers. So the use of CFCA is now being reduced to protect the ozone layer. Mainly the greenhouse gases, they also contribute to a larger extent, but the main compound is, or we can say the main chemical is the chlorofluorocarbon, which is responsible for the ozone layer depletion. Okay. So with this, we have come to the end of this chapter, our environment. If you have any queries from this chapter, you can ask, or yes, and from next day, we will be starting with the discussion of the chapter Heredity and Evolution. Though we have completed that chapter also, but we will again rediscuss that chapter. Okay, so once again, an overall briefing that what we studied in this chapter, what are the important aspects. And remember, students, in this chapter, in the board examination, awareness-based question comes, even the case study questions, that also is very important aspect of this chapter. So case study is also very important. So once again, we did the food chain, the food wave. So what is a food wave, students? Yes, quickly raise your hand so that I will unmute you. What is a food wave? Okay, Anjali. Yes, Anjali, you can unmute yourself. I've given you the option.
Yes, sir. Interconnected food chains are called food waves.
Very good. Interconnected food chain is called food wave. Okay, Anjali. Okay, Anjali. Okay, my next question to the students, that energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional or bidirectional? Yes. Who wants to, those who want to answer quickly, first raise your hand. Okay. Okay, Aryan. Okay, just a moment. Aryan. Yes, Aryan, you can unmute yourself. Yes, Aryan, you can unmute yourself. Energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional or bidirectional? Yes, Aryan, I think, okay. Aryan, I have given you the option to unmute yourself. Aryan, unmute yourself. Okay. Okay, then I'm, okay, Kunal. Kunal, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Kunal, energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional or bidirectional?
So the energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional.
Why?
Because the energy lost in the form of heat from the living organisms cannot be get back in the food chain.
Okay, very good. Definitely the energy which is lost during, or we can say the energy which is lost at one tropic level will not be reverted back to the previous tropic level. Very good. Okay. So if you have any more queries or any more doubt from this chapter, because we have come to the end of this chapter, if you have any more queries through the chat box, you can send the queries so that we can rediscuss that topic. Anyone? Okay, anyone having any more queries? Okay. Okay, you are saying to re-explain the unidirectional concept. Okay, let me come to the example. Yes, you can see, okay, I'm re-explaining the energy flow in an ecosystem. See, suppose let us consider this very example. Here, we have the producers, we have the primary consumer, we have the secondary consumer, and the tertiary consumer. So, the energy flow, that means whatever amount of energy, 1% of the energy, 1% of the energy available from the sun is utilized by the producer. Okay, and whatever amount of energy is prepared by the producer, only 10% of it goes to the next tropic level, that is to the primary consumer. And then from the primary consumer, only 10% of it goes to the secondary consumer. And then from the secondary consumer, only 10% of it goes to the tertiary consumer. So we will be saying that only 10% of the energy of the one tropic level passes to the next tropic level. That means the flow of the energy is unidirectional. That means whatever amount of the energy is lost at one tropic level won't be reverted back. Okay, those who have the queries regarding this, is it clear to all? Those who have the queries regarding to this, is it clear to all? Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. 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 Okay, fine. Okay. Yes. So again, let me rediscuss from the beginning. So in this chapter, students, we have done what is an environment, which is definitely anything surrounding us is called environment. What are the, if we are talking about the effect of adding waste, first we have to classify the waste into biodegradable and the non-biodegradable. Those waste which can be decomposed by the biological organism or the microorganism are called biodegradable waste, and those which cannot be decomposed are non-biodegradable waste. Then we have the ecosystem. Definitely the ecosystem is the functional unit present in the environment, which is formed by the regular interaction of the living and non-living components. Then what are the types of ecosystem? Natural, artificial. Natural, forests, deserts, grassland, mountains. And if you are talking about artificial ecosystem, they are the gardens, the parks. Then components of the ecosystem, there are two main components, biotic and abiotic components. Biotic components are definitely the living components like plants, animals, and microorganisms. They are further classified into producers who prepare the food by the process of photosynthesis. Consumer, they are further classified into primary consumer, secondary, and tertiary. Primary consumer is your herbivores, secondary consumer is the carnivore, and the tertiary consumer is the omnivore, who are both flesh eaters as well as a plant eater. Then we have the decomposer also in the biotic component, which decompose dead plants and animals. Then the abiotic components, which include air, water, soil. Then we are coming to food chain. It is a sequence in which one organism eats the another, and during this, the energy flow, or we can say energy from the one tropic level goes to the next. The interconnected food chain in the nature is called, the food wave, correct? And the tropic levels are the various, or we can say the successive, or each step of the food chain is called the tropic level. The producer are at the bottom and the tertiary consumer are at the top. A food chain can't have more than 4 to 5 tropic levels because no energy is available for the further transfer of the food from the one tropic level to the next. Then we have the energy flow, which is the flow of the energy which is captured by the one tropic level to the next. And there is a law which governs this flow of energy, and that is Lindemann's 10% law, which states that only 10% of energy of the one tropic level passes to the next tropic level. And after this, we have, or we did the ecological pyramid, which is a graphical representation of the various tropic level of the food chain. We did biological magnification, which is a phenomena of the increase in the concentration of the harmful chemical along the successive trophic level of the food chain. And at last, we did the ozone, which is definitely a layer protecting the earth from the harmful UV radiation of the sun. How it is formed? In the higher level of the atmosphere, the ultraviolet radiation breaks the molecule of oxygen into the atoms of oxygen, and this oxygen molecule combined with the atom of oxygen to form triatomic oxygen. And this ozone layer present in the higher layer of the atmosphere protect the earth from the harmful UV radiation from the sun. Now, this ozone layer is damaged by the use of the chemical like chlorofluorocarbon, which is used in refrigerators and fire extinguishers. So the use of CFC is now being reduced to protect the ozone layer. Is it clear to all? Now, all the topics is clear to all the students. Okay, yes, some of the queries have come. Just a minute. Yes. Okay, let me see the chat box. Okay, let me see. What is the advantage of ozone? Yes, protection from the harmful UV radiation. Otherwise, Prerna, the harmful UV radiation can cause skin cancer, eye cataract. Is it clear, Prerna? Your doubt is clear? Advantage of ozone you asked. Okay. Now, Khushbu, you have a question that how are human beings affected by biomagnification? Definitely, we are at the top level of the food chain. So whatever chemicals that is coming in the food chain through the producer is going on accumulating. And as we are at the top level of the food chain, then definitely in our body also the chemicals are, we can say the concentration of the chemical is maximum. Is it clear, Khushbu? Okay, one more query you have, Prerna. What is pyramid of number? Okay, see, pyramid of number means the ecological pyramid, or we can say the pyramid which is plotted with a reference to the number of the organism. If suppose this is a pyramid, and this level is the producer. Let me change the example. This level is the producer like the grass. And next you have the consumer, then you have the secondary consumer, then you have the tertiary consumer. So in terms of the population, when the graph is plotted, or we can say in terms of number, when the trophic levels are plotted, it takes the form of the pyramid, which is called the pyramid of number. Is it clear? Prerna, your doubt is further cleared? Okay, fine. Okay, still anyone having any queries, you can share in the chat box. Still anyone having any confusion, you can share in the chat box. Okay. Yes. Okay. 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 So no more queries. So students, today's assignment for you all. You write down today's assignment. Write down. Draw ecological pyramid. Draw ecological pyramid. Draw ecological pyramid. Next, write down what are the harmful effects of ozone layer depletion. What are the harmful effects of ozone layer depletion? What are the harmful effects of ozone layer depletion? Next question. Write the chemical equation involved in the formation of ozone. Write the chemical equation involved in the formation of ozone. Write the chemical equation involved in the formation of ozone. Okay, so this will be your today's assignment. Okay.